All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you doing this.
Of course, man. Dude, anytime. Definitely.
So, well, everybody, this is Seth Fowler, in case you didn't know. We just filmed some content together. At this point, I don't know when I'll release this, so it's like there could be content out, and this could be the last thing.
Cool. Sweet.
But I just wanted to sit down and maybe get some insight for a smaller creator.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And just because you obviously have 1.11 million subscribers, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And congratulations.
It's nuts, man.
Yeah.
It's
so
crazy.
you are a full-time creator.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. And so how long have you been making videos now?
On this channel since 2016.
2016?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what made you start making videos?
I just love doing it, and so I'd done it for years, like on other channels, and then they never really took off. And then it got to a point where I was like buying so many sneakers. I was just like, you know what? Why am I not making content about stuff that I'm really into?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Oh yeah.
Fowler Customs.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What did that grow to?
That was so I started that in college, like just as a way to make side income, like just customizing sneakers, because I was already on the Facebook groups for sneakers. There was just one in Philly called Buy Sell Fresh Cakes Philly.
Yeah.
And it was like this dope Facebook group that everyone bought and sold their sneakers. And so I just started like I offered free customs for a while, and then took some pictures of those, and then started charging for it, and then that slowly just grew. And it was never really like the money was never worth it, because you'd spend like 50 hours on a custom, and then someone pays you $50.
Yeah.
So it was like never worth it in that respect. And then I thought I'd make YouTube videos about customs, and then it just kind of turned into reviews. And looking back on it now, I probably should have stuck with some customs, because people like Marco are just killing it.
Dude, Marco is awesome.
Yeah, he's
love
amazing.
Him. Yeah.
He's so cool. Yeah.
But dude, the stitching and stuff, that's
next level.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But he's out here giving shoes to like Joe Rogan.
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's
That's
insane.
Oh man, so I got a couple questions written
Sweet,
down.
man, let's do it.
Because this is crazy for me. And I have this backwards. I had a point written down.
Okay.
I know I did, but I told you this off camera.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, Seth has a pair of off-white Jordan 1s signed by Virgil Abloh. And I just wanted to tell you that is, like, that moment for you is how I feel meeting you right now. Like, it's crazy for me. I
appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you have put the time in. You're a full-time creator, and that's what I aspire to be, and it's just, awesome. Dude, I really appreciate you sitting down.
Of course, man. Anytime, seriously. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So I have some questions written down.
Sweet.
So I asked you a couple of them. Okay. What YouTubers were you watching before you started? Before
I started, it was a lot of sneaker YouTubers, so it was like Kais.
Yeah.
It was like Tony D, Bull, Tom Stefanic, Yoanti, Nightwing, like a lot of sneaker creators.
Wow.
And then I think as I started to get more into sneakers, I started watching less sneaker creators. So because I was just doing it myself, and I just felt I didn't want to like take other people's ideas, and I also was so immersed in it, I didn't want to write it sick of it.
Yeah.
Watching it at least. So then I started watching a lot of tech, which I'd been doing before. So like MKBHD and like I Just Seen people like that.
Yeah.
And Brian Tong, and then just sort of morphed into just everything. Like, I watched like some ridiculous stuff. Like I watch this one guy called Camping with Steve, and he just like camps behind signs in Canada.
Wow.
Just weird stuff.
Oh, dude, I think I've seen one of his videos.
His videos are great.
Yeah.
He actually just subscribed to my channel. If he's watching, shout out to Camping with Steve.
Dude, that's awesome.
He's awesome.
I saw him. I think I saw a video where he camped like inside of like a roundabout.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's him.
Oh my gosh, I think that's the video I found him from.
Wow. Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of game stuff like Chase After the Right Price, Retro Rick. In 2020, when we were just kind of cooped up, like that's all I was doing was watching retro stuff, like Game Chasers, Retro Rick. I think I started with well, actually, the way I got into it was I'd always loved gaming and retro consoles, but I didn't realize there was a whole like YouTube community behind it.
Yeah.
So in 2020, I found the Game Chasers, and actually, I think I found them because I watched like this documentary on Amazon that was like some self-produced by somebody. He was trying to create or buy the entire NES collection.
Yeah.
And at that point, the most expensive one, which I'm sure it still is now or close to, was Stadium Events and Little Samson. And back then, it was like Little Samson was maybe $600. Stadium Events was like still probably a couple thousand, but and so he did that, and then I was like searching something on YouTube, and I found the Game Chasers, just going through and basically yard sailing for games.
Yeah.
And then that led me into like Retro Rick and Pixel Game Squad. Actually, Pixel Game Squad first, and then Retro Rick, and then Phoenix Resale, and then Chase After the Right Price, and now I'm into like the thrifting stuff and the yard sailing stuff, and so it's and now I watch Pokemon card stuff, even though I'm not into. I mean, I don't dislike Pokemon cards. I just like it's fun to watch people open stuff. Man, I have a problem. I watch too much YouTube.
No, dude, I do too. I completely feel you on there. And Dude, I couldn't tell you anything about Pokemon. But it's like, I know what the games are worth.
Exactly.
But when it comes to cards, I'm oblivious.
Same.
I have no idea.
Same.
You know?
Yeah.
And also, shout out to Chase after the right
yeah,
price.
Absolutely.
He's the one that put all this together, dude.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be here
amazing.
right now talking to Seth if it wasn't
Shout out
for
Chase.
Chase.
Definitely,
So
man.
that's awesome.
He's
so
the
thank
man.
you for putting this together. He is the man.
Yeah,
He's
definitely.
dope, dude. Okay. When did you start seeing your channel gain traction?
It was probably about a year after I started it. And that was doing a video like 3 times a week to 4 times a week. Like I'd come back from work and then I'd do a video. And it was, back then I was living in New York, so it was easy to go to like Foot Locker on the way home and buy sneakers. And a lot of the crazy releases were happening in New York, so it was easy for me to go to like events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I would like wait with all the resellers, which was brutal because they don't, in New York, it's same thing in Philly, but I guess there's like this group of resellers in New York called The Loop, and they all know each other, they all communicate, and they all sort of like have friendly competition, but like basically the first 50 spots in line, or probably not 50, the first 10 spots in line are always someone from that group, and then they save it for their friends, so you're always kind of in the back. So I'd always end up with like weird sizes of stuff, but I would buy stuff and then review it and then return it or sell it, or in some cases keep it, and I would do that like every day after work, and then I think it was the end of 2016 when SneakerCon New York came around. I met all the other like sneaker creators like Kai Snow, it's Teddy, and people like that. And then I think I was up to like maybe 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers. And then it was really the Virgil Abloh thing where like I met him and I got that shoe like 2 months early, put out that review, and it really did well. And that was really what helped like start gaining a lot of subscribers. And then the more reviews I put out, the more I was trying to like grab a shoe the day it released and put out the review as soon as I could, so that when people were searching for it, they'd start to find my videos first. And that's really what I think helped, because it was a lot of I was just going after search on YouTube, and that really helped a lot. And then slowly, like after about I think 2 or 3 years, I was at 50,000, and then in 2018 when I got let go from my job, I think I was at like 80,000, and at that point I was making maybe it was 100,000. I know it was 100,000 because I was showing my background work. My boss was like, "You can't be doing that. It's a bad look." I'm like,
man.
Yeah, so.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. But I guess it was fair because I was obviously distracted with YouTube when I should. Yeah. But I think at that point I was making about the same that I was making at my real job, and so I was like, shoot, like this is real. And then when they let me go, I'm like, I gotta try it.
Yeah.
And thank God my wife was cool about it, because at the time we were just boyfriend girlfriend at the time, but she was like, she didn't pressure me into like trying to find another job or anything. Neither did my parents, which was great. I mean, I was 26 at the time, or 25. So like it was my decision regardless, but it was nice that I had support from all sides.
Yeah.
And I just went for it, and then slowly over time, like I gained 50 to 100,000 subscribers every year after that, and then just the ball kept rolling, and yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Well, congratulations
that
you're here, dude.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
Man.
that's awesome.
I appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
So was there a video? Was there so that Virgil Abloh video, was that the one that really just...
That was a really big one.
Yeah.
That was those two. I did a vlog. I couldn't film him, but I was able to use a voice recording that they let us have. And then I did the review of the shoe. Those both did really well. And then the video, we were talking about this earlier, but there's this video I did about how much do small creators make on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that was my first video that hit 1 million, and it hit 1 million views in like maybe 2 years or something.
Yeah.
Which at the time for me, which still is, I mean, it's still nice to hit 1 million. I haven't. It's been a minute since I hit 1 million.
Yeah.
But that video I think drew a lot of traction, which was nice. And then just like reviews here and there, like Adidas was really popping at the time. Like any Ultra Boost video would do really well.
Yeah.
So that was like Ultra Boost NMDs. Like I'd go to every Adidas store every day to see if they had any new NMDs or Ultra Boost, and I'd buy as many as I could. Like I got lucky with some raffles at Kith. Like I got the Kith Ultra Boost Mid, which at the time was crazy. Would go for like $800, $900.
Yeah.
Now it goes for like $200 maybe. But
yeah,
dude, the views on those were good. I could probably, on a good review, I could probably get 50 to 100,000 views on like just a random Adidas release, just because everyone was hype on Adidas.
Yeah,
and
that's
I think
crazy.
It was nuts, man. And so that really helped. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's just one video, but it was like a bunch of videos all around that time. And I think living in New York and having access to all the shoes at that exact time, because it wouldn't really help now as much.
Yeah.
But back then, like it was just the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah. When or at what subscriber count did you get your first brand deal?
Shoot, probably 5 to 10,000, and I think it was for like $200 for a pair of socks or something like that.
No way.
Yeah. And looking back on it, I shouldn't have done a whole video for $200. That's insane. Because like then they started to like I did a bunch. Actually, no. You know what it was? It was catbeast.com. I don't know if you ever saw those.
Catbeast.
It's like they had like a 15-second pre-roll you had to put before like I think it was 5 of your videos per month, and they paid you $50. I think either per month or per like every 2 or 3 videos, and it would just be this thing where it would be like catbeast.com, designer and custom snapbacks and hats or whatever. And that was crazy because I was like really stoked that was like I was getting actually paid besides YouTube.
Yeah.
And I think at that point I was probably making like maybe $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month off of YouTube.
Yeah.
And that was doing a good amount of videos, and so that was like an additional couple $100, which was nice.
Yeah.
But for me, I think it didn't like sponsorships didn't really get serious until probably it was like right before I proposed to my wife. I got a big StockX deal, and that's what I used to buy our engagement ring.
Wow.
And that was like when that was 2018, so I was probably at about 150, but it was like $8,000 for like 3 videos, and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, this is real, and that's when it felt like I was like, this is legit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, whoa.
Okay, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah.
What's the most money you've made off one video, and how many views did it get?
If we're just talking CPM, I think the most was probably 18 to 20,000, and it got like 1.5 or 2 million views.
Really?
Yeah, but it was like a lot of good things happening at once. My CPM was higher because the video was a little bit longer and people were watching longer.
Yeah.
And it just did really well. I think like a million view video, you're gonna make probably $10,000 off of, I would say.
Yeah.
But for me, they're few and far between.
Yeah.
But like it depends on the channel. Like finance channels, like I've watched some of their videos where like they're getting $50 per 1,000 views essentially. Like I get more like $10 per 1,000 views.
Yeah.
And for like a million view video, they're making like $50,000. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's nuts. Yeah.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's insane.
Oh my gosh.
It's insane. And that's like, there was this one channel that I was watching that had like 200,000 subscribers, and he was getting maybe 30,000 views per video. And he did like this thing where he showed like what he was making per year. And it was the same as what I was making. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
And that was when I had probably 800 to 900,000 subscribers. I'm like, dang, I'm in the wrong sector.
Yeah, no kidding, dude.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was nuts. It was nuts.
Who is your dream collab with in the YouTube space?
I always wanted to do a video with Braille skateboarding, which I did recently, which I was stoked on.
Yeah,
I was so stoked on
3D printed shoes, yeah.
That was crazy. I used to really want to do, not that I don't want to anymore, but I used to want to do a video with Graham Stephan, because I was a big Graham Stephan fan.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm big in, like, the finance stuff, so, like, Dave Ramsey or The Money Guy, like, all those people.
Yeah.
I really love it. But it'd be tough to kind of do, like, to make a collab fit with that. But those would probably be up there. I don't know, like, it really... I guess I'm open to anything.
Yeah.
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 Like, I really, like, at this point now, like, I'm just happy to meet people. So I think the best collabs that I've done or had have been with people I didn't expect. Like, I wouldn't expect to, like, for example, like, Retro Rick, like, that was just such a fun trip and experience. And and it was someone I genuinely watched I watched all his videos. So that for me was, like, insane. Yeah. It was super, super cool.
That's awesome.
So I don't think it, like, sure, it'd be cool to be in a Mr. Beast video, but it'd be cool to see the back end of that, but I'm not like, you know, it wouldn't make or break my for me, like, what I've learned is that collabs, they rarely help you the way that you would think. Like, I thought that, like, back when I was doing, like, I'd be in a Kais video, and I'd be like, this is crazy, like, I'm gonna blow up. And, like, I got a couple thousand subscribers, which is great, but for me, the really beneficial thing was actually the experience of meeting him and talking with him, rather than, like, actually the benefit from like subs and stuff. So that's one thing that, like, I had to sort of switch my mind on, because initially I was trying to get collabs with everybody, and it was just like nothing was really, like, it never really it was, I think I was doing it for the wrong reasons, and that so that really made me just open to, like, I'll just do a collab with anybody anytime, because at the end of the day you can learn from everybody. So
I mean, dude, the fact that you're willing to do a collab with me,
I'll do,
and you're not gaining anything from me.
No, dude, you got me sneakers. You came out to visit me, man. It's great to meet you, man. This is great, man.
Yeah, dude.
This is awesome.
I could not be more thankful,
dude.
Seriously,
of course, man. Yeah, it's great to meet you. Seriously.
Yeah, and what would be your advice to any aspiring creator under 10,000 subscribers?
I would say don't get discouraged and just keep doing it because it's good. You're gonna get to a point where it's gonna suck and you're like, nothing's happening.
Yeah. And
then if you don't keep doing it, you're never gonna go anywhere with it. And I think another thing too is keep going, but then also be critical of your own work and be willing to change it.
Yeah.
And also find out what works well for your channel and go really hard into that because that's what people want to see. And initially, especially when you're starting off, you need to have that one thing that everyone comes to you specifically for. Yeah. And then once you get bigger, you can start branching out into other things. Yeah. Like for me, I was very specific about like reviewing sneakers as a designer. Like that's what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So that's all I did. And that's what I think people knew me for initially. And now that I'm bigger, like I can experiment with more content. And not say that smaller creators can't. In fact, that's important. Mm-hmm. But if you see like maybe one kind of video is really hitting for you, like make a bunch of those videos. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then also if just nothing's hitting, like just keep trying different things because you never know what's gonna hit for you. And then again, you got to be a little critical of your own work too, and like see like earlier we were having a discussion about like you thought that maybe you could cut down on some of your lengthiness, and that's a problem that I have. Yeah. And that like makes a huge difference. Like things like that, just always making each video better. And that's something that I'm still working. My videos are honestly still pretty crap. So like it's the more you can work on getting them better and better, I think the more people will appreciate it and watch it. And at the end of the day, it's all about retention. So the longer you can get people to watch your videos, the better you'll do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I don't think your videos are crap.
Oh, thank you. They feel like it, but I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm not calling anybody out, but I do want to say that you have the best sneaker reviews out there. I really feel that way. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, the B-roll, everything's good. There's not a dull moment. You do a great job doing it, dude. You, and I really enjoy your sneaker reviews.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you. I have my last question was, out of all that, what, and maybe it's the same thing you just answered, Alva. It was just, what is your advice to me? You've gotten to know me a little bit, you know what I mean, and not to put too much pressure.
No,
on you,
yeah.
You know?
I think honestly, it's just keep going because your video. I watched that one video of you finding the shoes, and like that was a really good video. I think it would definitely help filming the thrifting content for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Like that was one thing I was looking for watching it. Like, and I saw your thumbnail was amazing on that video. Like,
thank you.
Did you take that at home?
I took that.
I was gonna say because I was watching with my wife. I'm like, I never saw that clip.
Yeah,
and I was like, dang, that's such a good thumbnail.
Yeah.
So I think if you could have like that, the actual, like I wouldn't say your thumbnail game's amazing. So don't change that. But like if you could have something that kind of like, rather than having to describe the experience that you had, maybe like film a little bit of it, or like even ask the guy like, hey, is it cool if I just have my phone running because I have a YouTube channel or whatever? Yeah. And if he says no, fine. Then in that case, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You make the best of what you can do. But like I think just always having your camera out filming, especially with the kind of content you would make, would make a huge difference. Yeah. Okay, and it's like you have to get past that like first, like because like I had to do that too. It was brutal.
Yeah.
But like once you get past it, dude, like. It's just so like your videos are gonna be so much more engaging, and you get so many more people to watch. It's just that definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a hurdle. Like first getting comfortable on camera.
Right.
Like before we've been before we've been shooting, I've been like, all right, dude, let me collect myself real quick. What am I gonna say? You know. So, but yeah, I agree. I do. It will be definitely a change to make, but with the content I watch, I know it's more engaging as the viewer whenever you are them, pretty much. You know?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so I completely agree.
I would say even just like find the channels that you really like and that you watch, and then like try and emulate them, but in a way that's more unique to yourself, and then try and do what they're doing but better. Yeah. And then you'll slowly get like better and better and better, and then at some point you'll either surpass them or you'll change to do something else. But just keep doing it. Like even if you get discouraged, you have to keep doing it. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man.
Awesome.
Dude, you're doing a great job with this, because like, the first collab I did, and like 10 collabs after, I was stuttering and like nervous, and I couldn't, I was like shaking. It was brutal, man. Yeah. So you're so composed, man. I'm impressed, dude.
Thank you, because I don't feel that way. I feel like I'm totally in my head.
You're killing it, man. You're killing it.
And it's like, I'm trying, But dude, like I said, I could not thank you enough.
Of course, man. Seriously,
for doing
anytime.
This with me.
Anytime, dude. Definitely.
Yeah, and shout out to Chase.
Shout out to Chase
for making this
happen.
happen.
The whole squad, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, the whole squad. They're good dudes.
They are. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, brother.
Sweet, man. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate you.
Of course, man. Definitely.
All right. Well.
Sweet, man.